And we are live from the Illini Nation pregame show. Not your average pregame show, folks. We are live from Gies Memorial Stadium. We're usually down on the field. You can probably see why we're not down on the field. Maybe you could have already guessed that. We're trying to stay out of the wind and snow and everything else and cold as best we can. We're not out of it, but we're kind of tucked behind a wall here. Yeah. I'm Glenn Kinley. He's Tristan Thomas. We're with you here until just about 5:30. We'll also get you a weather report if we can set it up just right, and we'll get you Seth Bonoff in here to give you a weather report on what to expect at Gies Memorial Stadium today.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, snow, right? You can expect that. Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious. It's funny because when we walked in, I don't know what, 20 minutes ago, the field was getting cleared, and it seems like it's an uphill battle trying to clear this field because the snow is falling hard. It's kind of, I mean, Seth can maybe correct me on this, but it's like heavy. Feels like heavy.
Step to the side here. I want to see if we can see this tractor that is on the field right now. If you can see it right there. There's a tractor. I don't know if it's actually a tractor, but whatever it is, it's literally shoveling the snow off the field. But yeah, this is not, hey, it snowed last night. Hey, it's a little chilly. Hey, this is a snow game. Like a good old-fashioned snow game where who can find their footing, who can stay upright, who can literally not fall down. That might be who ends up winning this football game.
Well, and it's a big one for Illinois, right? Coming off the loss to Wisconsin, trying to get things right before the bowl game. And it's all about bowl placement now. A win here would really help you get into a better, higher, higher bowl game, really. Because I think
8 wins, you're playing against a bowl team, another team with 8 or 9 wins. Yeah. 7 wins, you're probably playing against a team with 7 or 6 wins.
Yeah, you could, you're talking maybe an SEC team, someone who's in a similar spot as you, but a high major team. If you lose this, I mean, you could be talking one of the lower Big Ten, bowls where you're not playing a marquee opponent. And I think this 7-8 mark is what we talked about before the season, right? Of like, is this a good season for Illinois? Like at the end of the day, Illinois is going bowling for a second straight year. That was like in my mind the thing. It's like you got to do that. This team couldn't miss a bowl
change
game.
That. Yep.
Yeah, and they did. Okay, so then from there, it's how good of a season can you make it? And certainly, I think below expectations. When you're talking about there's the cannon.
The cannon still works even in the snow. In case you were wondering,
Gies Memorial Stadium is now open. But I think when you talk about before the season, like I think the college football playoff was the talk, and it was like, could you be in that discussion? Well, you're out of that discussion. That's where we are. I think with Illinois, I mean, a chance to get 8 wins, 8+ wins back-to-back seasons. You got the winning season already, but how good of a season can you make this? That's still to be determined, and a chance to keep that rivalry trophy. You won from Northwestern last year at Wrigley Field, a chance to do it on your home field, and in a game that you got to be able to run the ball. That I think caters to Northwestern, unfortunately for the Illini. But hey, what do you got, right? Like this you still are favored. You should say, hey, we're the better team. We're gonna go out. We're gonna be more physical, more aggressive, and we're gonna set the tone.
It's an interesting one because the snow is kind of fun and exciting. And when Tristan and I were driving over here, I said, hey, if we're going to have an ugly game, freezing cold, a little bit of snow, let's just go all in. Yeah. It's kind of to that point where it's no longer, the weather might not be great. It's almost kind of fun and exciting. Yeah. We did see a couple of Illini players warming, or at least one Illini player, James Cruz, linebacker, warming up shirtless.
That's crazy, man.
His brother was in a tank top. Northwestern's down on the field right now. Northwestern has the specialist out there right now, and I'm going to kind of try to keep an eye on him while we're talking, Tristan, because I was kind of curious if anybody can kick the ball today. I don't know how that works, and the obvious point would be the wind and kicking it and the snow actually coming down, but also getting a good snap, getting a good hold. Yeah. Where do you place that ball somewhere in that snow? Clear off a spot for it before the kick. So are we going for 2 on every time? It used to be, hey, or on a normal day, it's if you get within maybe inside the 30-yard line or so, you got a field goal. I don't know if that would be the case today. For those wondering, the snow and the wind is coming in from the south towards the north. So going towards the north, towards the student section, towards the block I, you would have a little bit of wind at your back, whether that's through throwing the football or through trying to get a kick up. We'll see if that even happens. Yeah. Tristan, I think when you think about a game like this, you always think, okay, who can run the ball, right? And that will obviously be important. Also, sometimes in games like this, DBs can fall down, right? You're going to have linebackers trip up on the snow or lose their footing. So there will be some throwing in this game, I think. I could be wrong. Yeah. I'm not saying that Luke Altmaier is going to complete 45 passes, but I don't think he's going to complete 4 or 5 passes. I think it'll be maybe not none. Although obviously you have to run the ball playing this game. Ultra important in a game like this. Tackle him. It's hard to tackle a guy when you can't get your footing and really drive into him. You're going to have to be really, really sound with the fundamentals tackling today, because I think we're going to see probably some what looks like a simple run through the tackles. A couple guys fall down, one other guy loses his footing, one other guy doesn't wrap up right. That's a 40-yard gain all of a sudden on a play that wasn't even designed to be a big play.
I mean, that long Wisconsin touchdown in that game in Camp Randall was kind of a story like that, right? Like a fairly simple run that they just busted loose, and you missed a couple tackles, and there you go, he's gone. So, Illinois' got to correct that. I mean, I think when you look at how disappointing that Wisconsin game was, they just got outmatched.
Yeah.
Like just.
Wisconsin didn't steal that game.
No,
Wisconsin
was not a dynamic offense throughout the year, but they're going to play tough defense. You know that. Like that's been their identity for decades since Bielema was the coach there. Like even before then. And Illinois got to get some of that mojo back, some of that physicality back. I mean, you think back to games where they really controlled it. Like Duke, like what are some of the games? I mean,
yeah,
I think Illinois would like to get in one of those shootout type games. You're not going to do that in a snow game like this. Like that USC game kind of catered to their the offense and the passing and all that. But that's not what you're going to do there. I think
that's not to say this couldn't end up being a high scoring game. Yeah. It could. But it's probably not because you're spreading the ball all over the field.
Yeah.
It's probably because guys are missing tackles if this ends up being a high-scoring game.
Yeah, and it's you come into the season, senior day, a lot of seniors on this Illini offensive line. Hey, we're going to be able to run the ball. Like you felt confident about that. Luke Altmaier has been able to run the ball. Which running back is it going to be?
Yeah.
This could be a big Caden Fagan game, right? Like this is a game you go to your big bruiser and say, hey man, go get us some yards, make him tackle you in the cold. I mean, when I think back to when I played high school football, like when it's cold, like everything hurts, man. Like every tackle, every little contact, you're just like,
hurts a little bit more.
It hurts. Yeah, you're already cold, and then that impact is not fun to deal with. So I think for Illinois, it's can you get Caden Fagan involved? Can you get him downhill? Get him some big plays and trying to get a big one on senior night.
One of two ways that Illinois could go kind of in the run game. On one hand, hey, get a guy going. Maybe he gets warmed up and he's feeling good and he's not thinking about the pain and the cold and the snow. Maybe that's Caden Fagan. On the other hand, it could really help Illinois to have those three running backs that when one of your guys gets tackled by a 350-pound defensive tackle, he can go get on the sideline for a second, throw on the jacket for a second, and you got another running back that can go out there. So this guy's not just dead by the third quarter. And so that could help Illinois. What we would be talking about, had we not had the snow and all this other stuff that kind of draws your attention for this game, what we would be zeroing in on probably if this was a normal weather game is that this is senior day, and this is the last time Luke Altmaier will play in Gies Memorial Stadium. A special career for Luke Altmaier, and you know how badly he wants to go out with a win in his last game here.
It's still a major headline of this team, and man, you look at the senior day graphic. I'll just show you real quick.
Yeah.
Like, there are just tons of guys. It's a loaded senior day graphic. Some of them notable, I think, that have eligibility that could be back, but are getting honored. One of them on this graphic that's notable is Matthew Bailey.
Okay.
So he's a lot of. It's going to be a lengthy senior day ceremony. I don't know when that's going to get started, but it's going to take some time to run through all that. Because I mean, last year you talk about the senior day, it was kind of Pat Bryant and maybe a couple other guys, but not like this many cornerstone pieces for this team. And it starts with Luke Altmaier, right? You talk about his journey at Illinois. It's just been so fun to follow, so cool to see. I mean, you talk about a guy who comes in and SEC, Ole Miss transfer, like the. Here you go, kid. Here are the keys to the the castle right away.
Right.
And he struggled at times. Like he had that big moment in the Toledo game, his first start here, and coming back and winning that game. But really struggled in the Penn State game and got benched. And then he comes back the next year, and it's like, is Luke Altmaier going to deliver?
Yeah.
And man, has he delivered?
Yeah, he's been terrific.
I think what I'm thinking with Luke Altmaier is like, where does he rank in Illini quarterback history? Like,
he's up there, man. I mean, I think the records will tell you this, and probably just memory and memories would tell you that he's probably the best quarterback they've had since Kurt Kittner. I mean, he's broken some of those records, or certainly been in the conversation with that. And not only has he been that good, but at a time where Illinois football and Illinois football fans desired something like that, desired to have, like, this is our guy. This guy is leading the charge, and Luke has embraced that. And maybe a little bit even added sentiment and appreciation, I would think, from the fans in this era where it used to be, okay, we got this good quarterback. Sweet, we got this guy for 4 years. Now it's like, we got this really good quarterback. We got him for a few more months, maybe. He stayed. He stayed. He could have gone other places. He had offers. He decided to stay. I think he knew that something special was being built here. He put a lot of trust in this coaching staff. Luke took on a tough task this year of playing and getting acquainted with a almost entirely new receiving core. Obviously, they returned some guys, but like Hank Beatty and Colin Dixon were your returners, and he threw to them some last year. But he lost wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 from a year ago, and the year before that, he lost wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2. And so Luke has really helped other guys come along. I think the other quarterbacks in that room, like freshman Carson Boyd, would tell you that Luke has helped him a lot. We know that he's even helped with recruiting, even for some guys who aren't even going to – he won't ever even play with, but he wanted him to come to Illinois because he cares about Illinois. And so a heck of an opportunity. I don't know that he's going to break any passing records today, but and I don't know that he'll have the loudest crowd he's ever had, but I think the people who will be here will be pretty committed. Those are the diehard fans, and those people will be excited to see him play one more time, at least one more time. We obviously don't know about a bowl game.
You're going to be treated to a game that's unique. Like I was trying to think back of Illinois playing in a snow game like this, you think back to like the NFL a few years ago, like Calvin Johnson and LaShawn McCoy and that game and those guys running through the snow. Like this is that kind of environment. Yeah. I mean, I think back to the 2018 season where Illinois kind of had two really big, rain games that bowl year under Lovie Smith, where they go to Purdue. A Jeff Brom pass-heavy team is really negated in what they like to do in that pass-heavy system in the rain. And Illinois came out with the follow-up to the Wisconsin game, that upset win here. And then you look at the end of the year against Northwestern. It was a game where neither team could really throw it. You didn't have as dynamic of a passing game as you do right now, but you still had the ability to throw it. And then you take that away with the rain, and it's like Andrew Marty was the Northwestern quarterback who just ran all over Illinois in that Lovie Smith defense because Illinois couldn't stop that. And if you start to see that from either side right away, you might be in trouble, because if you can't stop the run in a game like this, you're not going to win.
On the same note, I would say this might be a game where you say, hey, we're never out of it. We're up or down 21 at halftime. It don't matter, because that could get flipped real quick in this type of weather. Tristan, I want to pull a complete audible here and do something out of the blue. Courtney will be very proud of us. Courtney always does her outfit of the game day. Yeah. And I think we need to do one. Usually she says like where she got everything. I don't know if we need to do that, but we do have quite a bit of layers on. So I got the hat, which I'm breaking my own rule on because I usually don't wear any team logos, but I needed the hat. Couldn't find my other hat without a logo on it. I was not going to be cold. I got winter coat, Navy Columbia jacket underneath that. Yeah. I got a Nike quarter zip underneath that. Underneath that, I got a T-shirt, and underneath the T-shirt, I got a long sleeve like Nike dry fit, like tight shirt. I got sweatpants underneath my dress pants. You went better than me on the shoes, though, because I just got some New Balances on, and my toes are already cold.
Also, for those who don't know, I am a little bit I'm from North Dakota, or I spent some time in North Dakota, so 2 years there. So I was prepared for the weather a little bit. I'm used to this, having to be able to get in the snow and be able to shoot. So for example, I've got
some boots on.
The boots are the big thing here. I've got I got a base layer on under the jeans as well. And then I think I've got like 4 or 5 layers. This long coat is really nice. Shout out Brett Behrens for giving me this when I arrived.
The hand-me-downs at WCIA.
And then a heavy coat here with a hood as well.
And I have another jacket over here. So we got all sorts of stuff. I brought an extra pair of socks. We got hand warmers and toe warmers. And so there you go, Courtney. We got our outfit of the game day in there just for you.
we didn't quite get the full view, but we can here.
Let's get to our meteorologist, Seth, here. He's back in the studio, and he's kind of running control on this one, and we're going to bring him in here now. And Seth, I'll unmute myself on the phone call so you can actually hear me live, try to eliminate some sort of delay. Seth, give us, if you're ready, give us a rundown of kind of like what to expect. We tried to cover the football side the best we could, but this is unusual, man. What are we looking at here? And maybe a stupid question, but is the snow still coming down a ton, and how long will it continue, or is it just blowing around at this point?
Yeah, no, definitely not a stupid question at all, because it's kind of hard to tell with the way things are moving out there sometimes. So this is unprecedented, giving a weather report here in the middle of the pregame show. But yeah, glad to help out here. Let's first look at our radar imagery here, and you'll see right over Champaign here, right where things are happening. There's still plenty of snow. There's kind of back and forth between maybe some light flakes and then maybe some heavy stuff mixing in there as well. So we've still got snow in the forecast for it looks like the next at least hour. Maybe it turns into some rain at some point as well and becomes just something completely bizarre here at some point in the game. But not only are you dealing with that, you're dealing with strong winds as well. You mentioned at one point in time it's coming from the south, to the north, so it's blowing towards that student section. Last check, your wind gust was 33 miles an hour. So this is going to be certainly an interesting game. Obviously, you guys talked about the passing game is going to look different. The kicking game is going to look different. Last game of the season, maybe you're a little more aggressive than what you would be ordinarily, but especially this time around with the weather being the way it is. Here's a look outside in Grange Grove, too. Normally, the tailgating scene would be awesome for the final game of the year and for senior day, too. But there's just, as you would expect, not a ton of people out there. And I'm going to just wrap up here by moving things over and looking at the big scoreboard there in the south end zone. And it is quite the scene when you see the snow under the lights, too, from this camera angle. So things are certainly wild. I've been telling people all day here, we've been updating them through the weather, that maybe it's not going to be the most fun to actually be out there sitting in the stands watching the game, but it's going to be a memory that you hold with you for the rest of your life. Just because how many times are you going to have a big-time snow game here in the middle of Champaign, especially one that's got a lot of emotional value there with some of those seniors playing their last game. So that's your report, Glenn. Expect things to stay the way they are here for the next hour and a half at least. Maybe at some point we start to see some rain and we get to a nice warm 33 or 34 degrees, but it is certainly going to be quite the ride getting there. Back to you.
All right, Seth, we appreciate it, man. Hey, some networks, they got Gene's Territory, they got the rules analyst. We got a meteorologist on the show for the game report. All right, this is special stuff. This is special circumstances. Seth, thank you very much. That was very insightful, and we're kind of I don't know what the rain would do. I mean, it could just turn into a soupy, an absolute layer of ice out there. And so they're out there on the field now. And Tristan, if you want to stall for me a little bit, I'll grab the camera, and I'm going to try to pan us out on the field and kind of get the folks a look of what we're working with here, or a better view of the field, because you can see it a little bit right now, but not entirely with us standing there talking.
Well, it's interesting because I think Seth mentioned the wind, and the wind is whipping for sure. And that's gonna, as mentioned, the kicking game. How do you figure that out? At the end of the day, man, it's a tough situation with the weather. You gotta get the run game going. Another senior we can mention, Hank Beatty, man, a guy who's been just bided his time and is going to be, get a warm welcome for the fans that are here, as some of the players are coming out. Looks like some of the players that are punters, skill guys, getting in their warm-ups in a full uniform. I believe it's just the standard block I uniform helmet for the Illini, the blue tops, and the orange pants as well. And certainly a big challenge. Those fundamentals got to be huge. We've seen it at times throughout the season, right? The punting game and miscues there can really be a problem. That was a huge way that Indiana kind of got going in that game with the blocked punt for Illinois. As I slide back in here and get ready for kickoff here, the kicking game, the punting game, the fundamentals, all those things are going to be huge for Illinois and Northwestern. Maybe a chance to dial up some pressure and block a punt, steal a possession where you can. As Glenn, I think as we talk about the weather and everything, I don't want to totally gloss over the senior day thing. What's it been like for you to see Hank Beatty, the local kid, the Rochester kid, just take off this year and really cement himself and be just such a versatile piece for this team?
Luke said it at Media Days last year, this past summer. He said, I need an alpha in the room. And we had talked to Hank since then, and I think he kind of said, I figured he was talking about me, right? And he has been that for Illinois. He has been, even the games where he doesn't have crazy yardage or something like that, Luke looks to him often. He's reliable. He is targeted a lot, probably more than some people realize. I think he's I don't want to say a safety blanket, but a comfort blanket, man. A guy who's out there, and Luke Altmaier feels better because he's out there, right? And the guy that he can look to. And it's been really cool to see him emerge after last year. Sure, he made an impact on special teams, and he had some catches, but it wasn't like this year, and he's just stepped up in a big way. Cool, obviously, for us because he's local, and we got his high school highlights back in the archives. But a special senior class that, I've said it before, but when or if Illinois keeps this trajectory and keeps going to a bowl game on the regular and keeps, having these expectations of 7 to 10 or more win seasons, you look back and you say, how did we get here? And this is Illinois football. All of a sudden, we're an 8-win program every year. How did you get here? This senior class is a big answer to that question. Luke, Hank, the list goes on. There's a ton of good players in that class, a ton of memorable players, some guys who turned down other options in the portal, some guys who turned down the NFL and put the NFL on hold to come back here for another year with Illinois. And so a really special group, and a group that might have some fun out here today. cold, but maybe fun as the tractor's going through and trying to get us one more clean off here. The clock says about 70 minutes right now until kickoff here in Gies Memorial Stadium. Tristan and I are going to wrap it up shortly and try to go get some food and get warm and get feeling back in our hands and toes before kickoff here.
Yeah. And do you want to do random
Let's
predictions?
do our random predictions, and I want to hear what yours is because I thought of one on the way, and I don't know why, but that's why they're random. Do you have one in mind?
Just thinking random guys in the run game who could score a touchdown, guys who've gotten carries, maybe haven't had huge breakthrough plays. I think maybe Jordan Anderson.
Okay.
Jordan Anderson, fullback, former kind of converted utility tight end type guy. I'm going Jordan Anderson.
He's a big guy.
For the Illini. Yeah, another bruiser you can maybe give it to.
I like it.
See him get some extended work. Jordan Anderson touchdown.
Okay, ours are pretty similar because usually we try to mix it up and have them different, but we don't ever discuss these. We just throw them out there. So I'm not going Jordan Anderson, but I do think I'm going a guy we have seen in and out of the lineup due to injury, and he was back last week. Illinois really didn't get anything going offensively against Wisconsin, so we didn't see him like fully back, but he had a bunch of carries. I think Aiden Lawfrey has a big game. Give me Aiden Lawfrey over 100 rushing yards today. I think he breaks a few. I think he has a few guys slipping and sliding in the snow and gets a few big runs when Illinois needs it. So Aiden Lawfrey, Jordan Anderson, Khalil Valentine, Luke Altmaier, Caden Fagan, all these guys will get carries and maybe more. What will be interesting and maybe fun to see, I don't know that it'll happen, but given the circumstances, you never know. I was watching like the K-State football game before I came into work today, and K-State had a couple, it wasn't really a snow game, at least not to this extent, but had a couple of their defensive linemen lead blocking for the running back, and they were both seniors on senior day. So if Illinois gets a lead, or even maybe not a big lead, but hey, we're not doing this to be cute or funny. We think this will work. It just so happens they're seniors in the senior day. Is there something cool that Brett Bielema or Barry Lunny pulls out of the bag to say, hey, we're going to do this and give this guy a cool memory on senior day and whatever that may be?
Well, even I think back to Bielema's first year here, Jake Hansen, the linebacker, at season-ending injury, he was in uniform for senior day, actually played on the last snap, was in to just kind of help take the the victory formation. So I think Brett Bielema likes to do those things, like to pay forward to some of those players. He talks about that of, hey, I'm gonna fight for these guys to win awards, get in the finalists even for the Blitnikoff or the Davey O'Brien. So I think Brett Bielema likes to do things like that. And do you get the chance to do that? You'd love to say so, but
depends on the situation of the game. Depends on if you get the right look from the defense, if you get down to the right yardage that you want. But hey, if Gabe Backus lines up at linebacker or linebacker, he does usually. That would be good if he did. If he lines up at fullback or tight end, you can say that we called it here on the Illini Nation pregame show. Anything else before we wrap up?
No, just excited to see for the last time, some of these major impact players, guys in the senior class who I think akin to maybe DeMonte Williams, Trent Frazier on the basketball side, like help turn around the culture, help get Illinois football back to, some winning ways. Excited to see what they can do in kind of this last memory, a chance to make a special memory for these guys. And keep the hat. Aiden Lawfrey, of course, had a big game last time when these teams played in Wrigley Field. Maybe does he like playing the Cats? I guess it's to be determined. But just excited for this game and trying to stay warm.
Before we wrap up, I want to see what David Alano does here. He's attempting a long field goal right here, and I think he hit it. I don't know how far that was out. That might have been a 50-yard field goal. I can't tell what yard he's on. That might have been a 55 from David Alano against the wind. So we were saying nobody's going to be kicking today. Maybe we're wrong. You'll have to tune into the game or get out here if you're on your way. Drive safe if you're on your way, or if you're driving over. The roads are a little sketchy out there as the wind and the snow and everything else. Seth, thank you again for the weather report. We'll have Brett Bielema's post-game press conference, which will be in the heat, thank goodness, live right back here wherever you're watching this. Of course, Seth and our weather team will keep you updated throughout the night on things you need to know, whether that be on air or online relating to the weather. I don't think we'll do a football hit in his weather report to return the favor, as much as I'm sure he would love that. But like I said, Brett Bielema's press conference, then tonight at 10 on our regular newscast, we'll have highlights on a live report if the game is over. With Tristan Thomas, I'm Glenn Kinley on the Illini Nation pregame show ahead of the snow game for Illinois and Northwestern in the regular season finale and senior day for Illini football. Thanks for watching. Be safe wherever you're at. And kickoff here is set for 6:30 p.m. See ya.